Morning guys, and welcome to the channel, and welcome if you're new to the channel. We have noticed that since we put the Wales videos out, the tour we did of Wales for 3 days, we've gained a fair few subscribers, so we just want to say welcome and thanks for subscribing, and I hope you enjoy our channel going forwards. Now I'm out without Louise today. She's off on a spa weekend. How dare she leave me at home? No, she's having a great time. She's gone to relax, and she can pretty much do with that. After the weather we've had this week, it's been up in the 30s all week, and obviously we did the 500-mile Wales trip at the weekend, so her body was a little bit broken, so a spa weekend is exactly what she needed and exactly what she deserves. So I'm out this morning with Max up at front on his Ducati, and we're off down to Boxhill, which is our local bike meet if you've watched the channel before. It's just a place a few miles from home, and gonna go down there for a coffee and see what amazing bikes are there. I'm going on a bit of a different route actually. Max is taking me on a scenic route there, not the normal one. And then on the way back I'm going to take you somewhere which is a little bit different actually, and it's only a couple of miles from our house. It's our local pub that run a bike event every year, and it's a custom bike show run by a biking club, and I can't remember the name of the club. We'll find out when we get up there, but I entered it a couple of years ago when I had this bike here. I'll put it up on the screen, and it's a hardtail bobber 600 Bandit, which I built myself from scratch at home, and I entered it into the competition up there. Didn't win anything, but it still looked really cool sitting in a bike show, and it got lots of attention. I had lots of comments of praise for doing that, and I really enjoyed building that. Sprayed it in my favourite TV show Only Fools and Horses colours, and again I did that all at home, so it was really cool to enter the competition. So we're going to go up there today. I will have to park outside because I'm just on a normal bike, not a chopper, and then we'll go and see some of the choppers and the custom builds in there. And let me tell you, there's some clever people out there that build some incredible machines. That's an absolutely beautiful Ducati Max is riding there. He bought it like that, but he's done a fair bit of work on it himself, customising it, and I absolutely love it. And he doesn't mind riding that anywhere. We went to Normandy last year. I was on this, and he rode that, and without a complaint all weekend. So for a 1990s bike to still be going strong and tour, not bad at all. Right, first things first, we're going to give the old girl a bit of fuel. Right, it's bike all juiced up. Seem to be filling this bike up an awful lot at the minute, which is not great, but the cost of fuel at the moment, which actually brings me to the reason I wanted to downsize to a 750. If you've watched the channel before, I test rode a Transalp, a brand new one, and I absolutely loved it for lots of reasons. Even though I do love my cross tourer, the Transalp was a lot lighter, but fuel consumption, it was a lot less. I did notice when we went to Wales, I mean, we covered around 500 miles or so, and I was doing 1 tank of fuel, even though this has got a bigger tank, to be fair, to Louise's half a tank, which was like gutting really with the cost of fuel at the minute. And you know, we were doing the same speeds, the same route, the same roads. It was just costing me a fortune. And now going forwards, Lou's going to be on a smaller bike, either staying on the 500 or at least a 750. It makes sense that I downsize a little bit now. There's no need for me to have the big 1200 cross tourer, as much as I do adore it. It's too heavy, too thirsty, and I have had it 2.5 years, so it is time for something new. You do get a bit bored of these things when you have something for too long. So yeah, we're going to be doing a lot of bike reviews over the next month or so. I'm trying to arrange a visit to a dealership where I can have a go on a Yamaha Tenere, see what they're like. I might even take a used one out for now and then just see what it's like. And yeah, I think it's going to be a toss-up between one of the Triumphs, the Tenere, or the Honda, and I'm probably going to lean more towards a Honda just for Honda reliability really, and I do have a bit of an affinity with Hondas. I would be really personally interested to find out a little bit more about some of the cheaper range of adventure bikes on the market, like the Vogue and the Benelli and the CF Moto. I don't know anything about them, apart from I sat on a few at the ABR festival last year. So I will be interested to hear from you guys if you ride any of those kind of cheaper adventure bikes, i.e. not Honda, Yamaha, Triumph, and how you get on with them long term, really, because that's always my worry. When I ride something, I do like reliability, and ideally I like a warranty, but I could go and get a Vogue 900 for half the price that I could go and buy a brand new Transalp and still have the Vogue warranty with that. And I'd be interested to know if you guys ride anything like that. Have you toured on it? Most importantly, have you had any issues when you've been touring, and has it been able to be rectified quite easily? Are dealerships sort of few and far between to get parts? You know, if you're on tour to France or to the Alps, anywhere like that, you can pretty much go and find a Honda dealership anywhere, or a Yamaha dealership anywhere. But is that the same with these cheaper brands? Drop it down in the comments and just give me your experiences, because for the money, I think you get an awful lot of bike for the money, really, when I'm looking at the prices of the brand new Vogues. But it does make me nervous about the build quality, reliability and access to serviceable parts. Now, before we get to Box Hill, I just want to make a quick apology on the channel, because I do know we have a subscriber and he is Welsh. He did notice that we was in Wales, and I had a comment to say that he loved our videos as always, but my pronunciations, or mine and Lou's pronunciations of the places that we were in Wales, made him cry because we got them so wrong. And I did make an apology on the first video to say that we will probably get all the pronunciations wrong as to where we were. So apologise if you're from Wales and we've offended you in any way by calling your beautiful country the wrong names, and your wrong towns the wrong names. But let me tell you, Wales has stolen a bit of both of our hearts. It's an absolutely beautiful place. The people were beautiful, everything about it, we just loved it. So if you're from Wales, you are lucky. You're very, very lucky. You are living in a beautiful part of the UK, and we are definitely going to come back very, very soon to tour the rest of it and see all the bits that we missed, and we will do our absolute best to do it justice by doing a bit of research before we start pronouncing town names, and yeah, we'll try and do Wales a little bit more justice because we loved it. Oops, it looks like the road's closed off there. Okay, spin it around. Someone's had an accident down there. It's a shame because I was really enjoying that road, but I do hope that all involved are okay, if that's what it is. Never nice to see that on a Sunday. Oh well, we're rerouted. That's a pretty little village, Leaf Hill, nice pub. Oh, I love riding through these foresty sections. You see why they call it Leaf Hill, all these trees. I can imagine in the autumn this place is a nightmare to ride with all the leaves on the floor. There's still leaves there from last year, to be fair, look at them. But this time of the year it's absolutely beautiful. Let's see how many bikes have turned up to Box. Wow, it looks busy. Louise's worst nightmare. Not mine. how we like to see a bike meet packed. Okay, mate. God, doesn't that sound nice? That was a cool run, that.
Yeah.
Enjoyed that.
Nice.
Something a bit different. This is just the coolest place. 30 years of coming in, I still think that. That's a proper collection of cars. Old Mark 1 Escorts, look. Wow. Lucky guys. We got Mexico. That's rare. Ford Angular, Harry Potter. That was a great stop at Box Hill, and I'm going to try and film this bit again. Now, I did try and talk as I was coming out the car park there, but at Box Hill, if you've been before, you know there's a bit of a slope that goes out the car park, and it's quite awkward to get out. There was a guy in front of me on an RSV Aprilia, tricked up to the, I mean, it was really tricked up, so a lot of expensive bits on it. He had his wife on the back, and he's obviously quite a short guy. Decided to rev the nuts out of it to show off, which is what you're not meant to do at Box Hill, because it is affecting the place and it will eventually get shut down if people keep doing that. Anyway, he did it, and as he was revving the nuts out of it, he accidentally dumped the clutch and threw the thing across the road and landed on its side with his wife on the back, with his girlfriend on the back, and she looked quite sore actually. So I'm not one for putting people's fails or crashes on my channel, because that's not fair, and I do hope you're okay. And I hope your bike is not as dented as your ego. That must have been quite embarrassing, because the whole place erupted in cheers. So I've lost Max now, he's had to head home. We stayed at Box Hill a little bit longer than we were intending, because it was quite a busy day and there were some really cool cars down there. So I'm just going to head over to the pub on my own now and go and see some of these great custom bikes that people have built. Well, that was a really cool stop. Really enjoyed that. There's some amazing machines up there. Some of those bikes, you just look at them and think, people are so clever. What it must take, the ingenuity and the ingenious to build those things, is quite incredible. When I looked around that show half a dozen times, some of the bikes really caught my eye, and then you go around to look at the same bike again and you see something completely different on it. It's very, very clever and very good to look at. And I like custom bikes that, even though they're not my cup of tea to ride really, I just like the individuality of them, the originality that's put into these things. It's really, really impressive. So yeah, I'm just going to head home now. It's 25 degrees, sunny and dry, which is, in my opinion, is the best type of weather you could ever ride in. So I'm going to enjoy it this afternoon. So yeah, thanks for watching the video, and I hope you enjoyed that, and we will see you very soon in the next video. Cheers guys, see you later.